Hello guys, this is Ibrahim Rahman from Aditech. Welcome back to another video in the HTML series. In today's video, we are going to look at HTML tables. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and learned something new. So let's get started. HTML table is used to organize and display data in rows and columns, which is very similar to spreadsheets or database tables. It helps to present information in a structured and easy to read format. From what we can see here, the information will be organized into rows and columns. So this is a typical example of a row and a column. This is how HTML table is being structured. The table is created using the table tag, and inside this tag, we have the table row, which is used to define the rows within the table. We also have the th tag, which is used to define the header of the table. Then we have the td tag, which is used to define the cells within the table. So from here, you can see that this is a row, this is also a row, and this is also a row. These are the columns. So, but this is a header, and these are the actual rows. So this is row 1 in the first column. So that is why you are saying row 1 column 1. So it simply means this is the first row, this is the first row, okay, and this is the second, this is the second row. So this is the first column, second column, and third column. So that is why you are seeing row 1 column 1 here, then row 2 column 1. So like I told you, tr represents the table row, then th here represents the table header, and td represents the table data. Okay, so from what we can see here, this is the header. So this header is being created using th, okay, and tr represents the rows. So these rows are created using tr. The td here defines each cell within the table. Okay, this is where the data is being placed within the table. So now let us look at this table. The table tag here defines the table. The caption here defines the table caption. We also have the summary, which defines the table description. Then we have t-head, which defines the table header. Then we have t-foot, which defines the footer of the table. We have t-body, defines the body of the table. And of course, we have tr for the row, th for the header, and td for the data cells. So this is the description of these subtags. Now, from here, you can see a syntax that displays this table. In the first place, you need to define the table tag. From there, we have tr. tr represents what? The rows. So within this table tag, we have the first row. This first row has how many cells? It has cell 1, cell 2, and cell 3. So this is cell 1, cell 2, and 3. So in order to show cell 1, cell 2, and cell 3, you need to define each cell within a table data. So td. So td cell 1. So this is cell 1. And td cell 2. This is cell 2. Then td cell 3. And this is cell 3. So this is only for the first row. So if we look at this second row, so you will see now td cell 4, then td cell 5, then td cell 6. Here is also another example, just for you guys to understand. You declare the table tag. So within each table tag, you have rows. So tr here depict this first row. Then tr here again depict the second row. And this is for the third row. Then this is for the fourth row. So the td here displays individual cells within the table as well. Now, it is also important for you to understand the colspan and the rowspan. The colspan means span across multiple columns. Then it allows one cell to stretch horizontally across several columns. Now, let us look at the colspan. Like you see here, it allows one cell to stretch horizontally across several columns. If you can take a look here, you will notice that this cell here spans across these columns. So this is an example of colspan. So this row has spanned across these two columns here. Okay, so this is also another example of the colspan. For this first one, it spans across just two columns. Okay, but for this one, it spans across 1, 2, 3 columns, right? Then if we take a look at this again, this is also a colspan. This has spanned across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns. So this is how the colspan work. So for the rowspan, it spans across multiple rows. It allows one cell to stretch vertically across several rows. This is an example of the rowspan. You see that this cell has spanned across 2 rows here. This is one row, this is another row. So, but this single cell has spanned across 2 rows here. Likewise, this again has spanned across 2 rows here. So let us now move on to our code editor and see the implementation of all this. So guys, I'm now on the code editor. So let us see how to implement tables within our HTML pages. So I'll start off by creating a new file. I'll call this file table.html. So here I'll also add the boilerplates, and here I'll just say h1 HTML tables. So let us preview and see the display on the browser. So we have this. So in the next instance, so all we need to do is to define the table tag. So in order for us to create the table, we first of all need to create the table tag. From there, the table header as well as the table body. Okay. Then finally, we also need to add the table footer, as the case may be. So but let's start with the table header first after creating the table tag. So say table. So within this table, we need to create the table header. But before that, I want to add a border of just 2 width of the border. So within the table tag now, I need to add the table header. I will just say th, okay, for the table head. Okay, so this is the table head. So within the table head, I also need a row. Like I told you, tables comprise of rows and columns. In order for you to have a single cell within a table, you must have a row and a column so that you can have multiple cells within the table. So I also need tr here. So I need tr. So this is the table row. So within this table row, I also need a table head. So within this one, I need a table head. So th for the table head. Here I need the name of the student. For example, student name. So from there, I also need another table head for the age, or let's say program. And from there, student ID. Student ID. And the final one, let's add the age of the student. Student age. So far we have the first row. This first row comprises of what? The heads of the table. Okay, which will hold the student name, the program, the student ID, as well as the age of the student. But all these supposed to be in one row. So now let us see the display of this. So if we go back, from what you can see here, you can see student name, the program, the student ID, as well as the age. So if we go back, this is for the table head. Let us now create the table body. For the table body, we just say T body. So within the T body, we also need some rows. We use TR tag for the table row, and within this row, we need certain data. So we need TD as the first data. Okay, the first data we have for this first heading is what? The student name. Let's call this student Almami Sam. This is the first student. We also need another data again for the program of the student. So I will say the program is computer science. We also need another data again for the student ID. So I'll say the student ID is ABC 123. After that, we also need another data again for the age of the student. The age of the student is 24. So if we go back to our web browser, you see that student name is Almami Sam. The program the student is offering is computer science. The student ID is ABC123, and the age of the student is 24. So from there, this is for one row. From what you can see here, we have one row here. This is one row. If we are to add another row, all we need to do is for us to define another TR tag again, which signifies another row. So let me just copy all this table data here and paste here. Now let's change this. Let's call the student Mariatu Sise, and the program she's studying is BIT, and her ID number, let's just say ABC 112. Her age is 27. So if we go back to the web browser, so you see we also have another row. So this is for the first row, and this is the second row. So if we are to add another row again, we just need to copy this and paste here. So let's call this Jibrila Toure. So this is our third student. He's also studying BIT, and his ID number is 142. His age is 28. So as you can see, we have one row, 2 and 3 rows. So take note, each data is within a cell. The name of the student is within a cell. The program is within a cell. The ID number of the student is within a cell, as well as the age of the student is within a cell. So this is how we add tables within our web pages. It is very simple. All you need to do, you define the table tag. From the table tag, you define the table head. After the table head, you need to create a row here. So within this row, you now add the data you want to populate within the table. After the table head, you also create the table body. The table body is here. So from there, you also add your rows. Okay, but take note here, from what you can see, we have TD. The TD here is the table data, and here is the TH. The TH here is like the table head. So which simply means each data here is for a specific head. For the students here, from what you can see, the students column here have all the names of the students. Okay, Almami Sam, Mariatu Sise, and Jibrila Toure were all added to this column. And the program here, all the programs of the students were added here, as well as their ID number and their ages. So this is how we can add tables within our HTML pages. Now, if you also want to add a table footer, all you need to do, mind you, this is the table body and this is the table head. Let us add the table footer. All we need to do is say T footer, okay, or T foots. Okay, so within this T foot or the table foot, all we need to do, we are also going to add a TR, meaning the table row. So within this row, let's say we want to add, for instance, for example, let's say average score of the student. So I will say TH. So within this TH, I'll just add average score of the student, or let's just say average score. Yeah, average score will be fine. So if we go back to the web page, so now look at the average score here. So from what you can observe, you notice that the student name, the program, the ID, and the age, as well as the average score are all bold. Is that not so? So this simply means this is the head, this is the body, and this is the foot. Okay, but for the head, the table head and the table foot, if you can observe keenly, you will notice that because of this TH tag, this text is being bold. Okay, as well as for the footer here also. This is how we can add a table within our web page. So let us also take a look at col and row spans. The col span simply means it spans across multiple columns, whereas the row span across multiple rows. So for the col span, it allows one cell to stretch horizontally across several columns. Okay, that is how the col span works. And for the row span, it allows one cell to stretch vertically across several rows. Okay, so let us see an implementation on that. So if we, from here, I want to span this column. I want to span this column. I will just say col span. I want to span this within 2 rows. Okay, so if we go back to our web page, you see that the average has been spanned across 2 columns here. So for the col span, let us say I want to span this column across 2 columns here. I will just say col span. I need this to be spanned across 2 columns. But let's take a look here. We have 1 column here, another column here. So if we add col span of 2, this single column will span across these 2 rows. Okay, it will span across 2 rows. For example, I'll just say 2. So from what we can see here, you see, so this single column has spanned across 2 columns here. This is how the col span work. Let us see how the row span work as well. So for example, I will use this. I will say row span. I just need 2. So meaning I need this to span across 2 rows. So if we go back to our web page, let us see. So where are we? Okay, let me use this one. Let me just use it in here. So within this, Almami Sam has been spanned across 2 rows here. Okay, this is the first row and this is the second row. So this is how the row span works. So it's very easy to implement these ones. So guys, that is it. I hope you've seen the implementation of how we can add tables within our HTML page. And I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. Don't forget to share and subscribe, and make sure to drop a comment on the comment section. In our next video, we'll see how we work with HTML forms. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.